Hello, 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 hello. We are here, Formula One. Oi, oi, oi. The way I wish I could cover this while watching the live sessions. The way I wish. Not to be, still having connection issues and all. So cannot do live watch along streams. So the way that I've found the balance is after the race, whether it be the main GP or the sprint race, that is when I will upload a video for Formula One. That is the sort of point that I am at. And if you're a Formula One fanatic as well, you would be familiar with Ted's notebook. So I've taken somewhat of a page from that said notebook and I've come up with Babaji's notebook, Miami GP. You see it right there. Where is it? Over here. F1. You see it right there. So I will be bringing up my own notebook until said time that I can do live watch alongs. Where's this? There we go. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay. So where is it? 0200. Okay. So, yeah. Sprint race has just finished maybe 30-ish odd minutes ago. Hopefully this will go out tonight, the video. Let's get into the weekend so far. We are at the Miami GP, all the way in the US of the A's. We had FP1 yesterday, we had sprint qualifying yesterday, and today we had the first session, the sprint race, and to follow up is qualifying for the main GP, and then tomorrow we have the main GP. So the way I've broken this weekend down is we are covering everything from Friday up until the first session Saturday, that being the sprint. So we've got practice, sprint, quali, sprint that we'll talk about in this video. Then in the next video we'll talk about quali and this thing, quali and the race tomorrow after the race. Hopefully I should be able to upload a video in time, but let's see. I've also got to balance out IPL, and studies have just taken a backseat for the weekend. Let's get into FP1. So this weekend overall, every team, more or less every team, has a little bit here and there. Ferrari have the most thrown at their car. They've got about 11 declared upgrades. That is aero chassis upgrades, of course. McLaren and Red Bull have 7 apiece each, and Mercedes have 2 minor upgrades that they have declared to the FIA. What else? Red Bull are about 6 to 6.5 kilograms lighter, if I'm getting that quote correct. They are about 6 to 6.5 kilograms lighter than they were in Japan. Williams are still overweight. Williams have brought a package, an upgrade package, to sort out the weight reduction and all this, but they're still overweight, so that is still a problem with them. Aston Martin, though, have brought no upgrades, nothing, nada, nil, not upgrades. So from what I understand, what they did was they sent the car to Japan, to the Honda factory, and they've put it on the belts and bobs and all this. And then they ran the engine, they ran the car to figure out where the vibrations and all were coming from. So their whole goal for 1 month was to figure out how to stop these vibrations and all this, how to get a better handle of the PU. So they were focusing more on the PU side in this month break. Red Bull, also on Red Bull, they brought the rotating rear wing. This one, what's it doing? I think it's going underneath and then opening. So normally you have your rear wings that open like this. Uh, yeah, that normally open like this. But then with a Red Bull, it seems that I don't know, it's opening the other way around. I couldn't see a proper visual, but basically it's a gimmick of the Ferrari Macarena wing. Uh, and I think Red Bull are doing it better than Ferrari because Red Bull are able to open up a wider gap between the end plates of the rear wing than Ferrari, and I think Red Bull have managed to sort out a bit of their balancing problems, let's say, because so yesterday in practice, Max was complaining rears were bouncing up and down and everything. But come Saturday sprint, they seem to have found a good balance with the rears and the fronts and the aero packages. They've turned up with a half decent, let's say, race car. And I'm saying half decent because they're still fighting with Ferrari. They're not there with the podium shouts, not yet. They're not even in the win picture, not yet, definitely. So that's it's an upgrade. It's a build towards a better car, basically. What else do we have? I spoke about Williams, Red Bull, Cadillac have brought weight reduction changes, upgrades, let's say. Racing Bull has and Audi have the fewest, let's say, and most minor changes. Again, some of them mostly on weight reduction. Every team will always focus on weight reduction. With Haas, they have slightly more, maybe one or two more than Audi and Racing Bulls, but again, it's all on weight reduction. Changes in the regs is very confusing. Don't even ask me how to explain. I thought I understood F1 well enough to open a YouTube channel and lecture people on F1. Turns out I don't know squat about Formula One, especially with these new regs. So, from what I understand, it's what have I written? It's confusing. My exact words, it's confusing. Uh, Drivers will be in more control of the car, and we will have less lift and coast. So the problem over here was during the break when the FIA put out the press release, it was very strangely worded compared to how easy the explanation was for the people who understand what's going on with these regulations. So basically, they're saying that you will be less periods of time super clipping or stuff like this. You will have more time on throttle and all. That is what they were saying. I don't understand jack squat of what they were saying. To me, it's all still the same. Uh, but I will say a very notable difference is whereas in the first three GPs where you would have overtakes happening in let's say irregular places, uh, being that you'd had more overtakes because in unovertakeable places you would have a driver pulling off a move. Uh, After watching today's sprint, it seems that with these changes, the field spread has started to show. There's not as many overtakes, not as close wheel to wheel. So I don't know what they're doing. They just need to admit they were wrong undo these regs. Just say deal with it for the year. Next year we'll have new regs, but no, people are being hard-headed. So that's about it for practice. There's again nothing really exciting happened in practice. It was a 90-minute session, extended by the FIA to give time to teams to sort out these changes and everything. And also, we're coming back after a long time, so the systems and all. Oof. Aston Martin had power outages in their garage, so they got delayed, they got disrupted, especially the first 25 minutes or so. The session was just disrupted. Leclerc finished on pole in FP1, Max P2, and Oscar P3. Uh, that was practice, and one of the while we haven't gotten into heavy things while we're still talking about teams. GP announced, well, Red Bull announced GP is to leave Red Bull at the end of 27, and in 28 very high talks of GP going to McLaren. I don't know if the McLaren talk is signed and sealed. I didn't get to that part. A lot of news I just kept ignoring for the month, cause one, there was no weekend coming up soon, and I was caught up elsewhere. So I'm not sure if it's a done deal GP to McLaren, but a lot of talk was about GP to McLaren. So my thought on that is I thought GP would have teamed up with Max, joined the Verstappen camp, because Verstappen seems to be in a very powerful position. And me being a Red Bull fan more than a Max fan, uh, I will say Max has abused, let's say, his powers. We saw it the whole of last year where he was threatening to leave, to leave, to leave, to leave until Christian was let go, changes were made, and all sorts of things happened, and then he said he's staying. So I'm not enjoying this blackmailing, this politics that the Verstappen camp is doing, but okay, it is what it is, man. I'll just say I was with Red Bull during Seb's days. I will forever be with Red Bull. Max is a once in a generational talent. Lucky that my team has him, and he's brought us 4 titles. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's business, but there has to be some loyalty. For I'm saying this for Max with regards to what he was doing about the whole leaving the team and all this, breaking the contract and all this. With GP, I thought he would have stuck with Max, made a whole lot of money, retired rich. But I would assume he's already made enough money to retire, and it's probably about finding a new challenge, doing something new. He's achieved a lot with Red Bull. So, yeah, with the guys of the stature of Helmet, Christian, Adrian leaving, I thought Hannah and GP and Laura McKees and some other key guys in there. I thought maybe they would form the core group at Red Bull, but not to be. Seems GP is also departing Red Bull, and so Max's contract is until 28. I don't know if it's until 27 and then 28 they have to renew, or it's until 28 and then they have to renew before 29. Not exactly sure, but should be around. I think next season is the last season with Red Bull on contract with Max. Not sure about the 28 season. I think it's the 28 season also, but I'm not sure. But I don't see Max staying at Red Bull. I don't see it. Max he will leave. Uh, Max will leave. I don't know if he's going to leave this season. I don't think so. I think next season he will race with us. But in 28, very likely I see Max leaving Red Bull. I just get the feeling that he's going to leave Red Bull. So anyway, that is it. Best of luck to GP. Hope he would have stayed. But yeah, okay. Okay, it is what it is. Team personnel go in and out of a team. That's fine. Let's go to the sprint race. Let me just note this down. Let's go to the sprint qualifying. The second session of Friday. Sprint qualifying. Where have I noted you? Okay. So SQ1, what happened? Stroll will be locked up in the final corner. What corner is it? Is it 1017 or 1018? The heavy braking before the pit entry and all. That heavy braking over there. So Stroll locks up and Lando was on a run. Yellow flags. So if you are on a flying and you pass through yellow flags, your lap is automatically deleted. Your lap doesn't count. It's forfeited. Unlucky for Lando, he had juiced out his tires and probably some others too as well. Stroll from then on ended up retiring from SQ1. I wouldn't say I think, I would say I was told it's a suspected mechanical issue that led to the retirement. And from then on, it was a pretty much standard regulation session. Drivers, setting benchmark times and then topping them, trying to top them at least. So nothing else exciting happened afterwards. You had your eliminations. Lawson, Ocon, Perez, Bottas, Alonso, and Stroll. These are your 6 eliminations from SQ1. Lawson was just slower than Alex, just by the barest of margins. Ocon locked up into turn 1, setting his final fly. Perez and Bottas slow off pace. Both Astons slow, of course, but Stroll retired, suspected mechanical issue, and Alonso locked up. Before that whole Mickey Mouse section, he locked up way. It's the end of what used to be the first DRS zone. This would be turn 11, I think, 10, 11, I think. That heavy braking before you get into that Mickey Mouse chicane. And then you go to SQ2, clean session, regular standard session, nothing heavy, nothing dramatic. Your small lockups, your wind picked up. Your eliminations were Gabby, Hulkenberg, Ollie, Alex, Sainz, and Arvid Lindblad. And Sainz was pissed at Williams. Sainz was super pissed. He was saying we had a 90-minute practice session. We spoke about the issues, and you still refused to get things right and all this. He's like, I'm disappointed and all this. Sainz was pissed off as well. Then we get into SQ3. Mercs were off the pace. I think George especially, he never got into half a second of the lead pace the whole weekend, including the sprint race. Where my Mercs were off the pace. Leclerc lost time. I think it was in sector 1 and 2. I think Leclerc lost time. Lando put in a decent time. He put in a decent banker, and then he outdid himself to get pole position, to get provisional pole at the time. Lewis got sliding out of was it 10 12 10 11 or 12. He was getting slides going on. The rears were overheating throughout the session, by the way. Max was purple in sector 3, but slower overall in the first two sectors. Oscar lost out to Lando, and then Kimi outdid Oscar to get P2. He put in a purple sector 2 and outdid Oscar. But it wasn't enough for P1, and then you had in the mixed of all this. I think this came out before SQ3 started or something like that, or just as SQ3 ended. Alex had been stripped of his SQ2 qualification because it was found that he had exceeded track limits his on his fastest lap in SQ1. So Alex was stripped of that fastest lap that he set in SQ1 that allowed him to qualify for SQ2. So he was stripped of the SQ2 times, the fastest SQ1 time, and then he was relegated to, I think, P19, I think, if I'm not wrong. So that is it for sprint qualifying. Let's run down the full results of sprint qualifying. Lando got pole, of course. Kimi split the McLarens. Oscar not quick enough for pole, not quick enough in the race as well. We'll get to that. Leclerc, I never saw him in contention for the win the whole weekend. I never saw him in contention for the win, even though he topped practice. Max again, yeah, that's where you expect him to pull that Red Bull to P4 at most. P5, P6, I think P6 is a sweet spot with the Red Bull to expect him to finish. George just off the pace the whole weekend, in P6. Hamilton brings up P7, slowest of the front runners. Franco Colapinto probably has been having the best weekend of his full-time F1 career. He outqualified his teammate in P8, Isaac Hadzer P9, splitting the Alpines with Gasly bringing up the top 10. You have the two Audis in 11th and 12th, Behrman bringing the Haas in P13, Sainz in where is it? Sainz in P14, and then you had the two Racing Bulls after Alex being dropped down. You had the two Racing Bulls in P15 and 16. Esteban P17. Checo is 18. Alex is where, man? Alex is 19th. Valtteri in 20th, and yeah, Fernando. Yeah, there it is. Alex's fastest lap time was deleted for track limits, with all his SQ2 lap times subsequently being deleted as well. So that makes complete sense. Stroll never even set a time, so he's not in this list. That's why it's only showing 21 drivers. Stroll, yeah, Aston Martin. I thought the 1 month break would have been enough for Aston to turn up with something, but I guess they're working on a larger package rather than small packages throughout the season. Just figure out the power unit issue, figure out the vibrations, and then just come in with a huge package. By this time, all the teams have been able to study each other. A team like McLaren, who had issues understanding the power unit, they had a month to run through so much data, and it proved to be so this weekend that they didn't understand the PU. Now they've got a grasp of the PU. Having said that, let's go into the sprint race. So the sprint race was, let's just say, stock standard. I thought maybe into turn one you would have some carbon confetti, but it was quite an exciting turn one, as it normally is with F1. The excitement normally just lasts for the first lap, and it's at its peak off the line into turn one. So before the race even got away, Nico power unit issues. There was smoke, fluid, all the bits and pieces coming out of his car except for horsepower. So Nico couldn't start the sprint race. Arvid was scheduled for Lindblad was scheduled for a pit lane start, but ended up not making out of the garage. And then we get into lap one. So pretty exciting lap one. Where's the recap? So let me just talk about the whole start over here. Because I noted the start later on when they showed the replay. Let me just fast forward. Okay, so not at the top of the field, but like around Max and Lewis where they were starting. Heading into the turning of turn one. Lewis was on the outside, Max was in the middle, and Gasly found himself on the far inner side of the track, and they were almost three wide into turn one. What happened was eventually on the exit of turn one, heading into turn two, Gasly had to back out, and Lewis was being pinched on the exit. So Max he just held his nerve and put his foot down, man. After he made it out of turn one, there is scrubbing wheels, but that's fine. No harm, no foul. That's fine. Where else am I? Kimi, terrible start. He launched and then bogged down and then had to wait for the car to catch up, had to wait for the tires to grip up. So Kimi started second, ended up losing out to Oscar Leclerc, and he was under pressure from George. George nearly had him, so what happened? George had the inside line into turn one, Kimi had the outside line, and George was ahead in the braking zone, but because his line was more acute and then Kimi's, he had to slow down. Kimi then overtook him into the entry of turn two, basically the pit exit where that white line goes across the track, marking the pit exit. And then George kept himself in play, but Kimi had the faster line. Let's say Kimi had the racing line, or let's say the majority of the racing line. So Kimi managed to keep position. What else was happening? Off turn one, holds it side by side into turn two and three, took the overtake. Yes. Also, Kimi drops behind McLaren's and Leclerc. Fights with Russell for position, just kept ahead. Max and Lewis battling it out with Gasly, the Alpine, the third car. McLaren's hold position, so Lando got off. Oscar overtook Kimi, and Leclerc also overtook Kimi. So Lando, Oscar, and Leclerc, this was your top three throughout the race. Nothing happened with these three. That was exciting. Leclerc got close on some occasions, but apart from that, nothing really happening over there. On lap 2, Kimi on Leclerc's rears and tries for a gap, but it wasn't to be. I think he tried it in turn 11 in the heavy braking of at the end of the first DRS zone. That's the best way I can explain 10 11 before the Mickey Mouse section. And then nothing was doing for him, but he lost out time as a whole. And where is it? Liam was struggling. I don't know what was going on with Liam, but he dropped in a couple of corners. He dropped positions to Alex and Sainz in the final corner. He couldn't make anything happen for him, so he ended up losing two in quick succession. Max behind Lewis, coming down the straight. Not sure what I meant to say over there. But yeah, early on, Max and Lewis were battling it out. It was good to see. There wasn't much of it being broadcasted, but it was good to see. The bits and pieces that they showed, especially, that was fine. Lewis slowly was closing in on lap 7. Lewis was slowly closing in on Russell in P5. So your top three were your top three: Lando, Oscar, Leclerc, and Kimi was in P4. Russell was in P5. Lewis in P6. Max in P7. So on lap 7, Lewis was slowly closing in on Russell. At the end of the lap, Lewis was pressuring Russell, and Russell ended up, if I am not wrong, somewhere in this mix, Russell got to move on and into turn 17, the final braking zone, the final heavy braking zone before you get into the pit entry and the pit straight. That final heavy braking zone, Russell ended up pulling the pin, overtaking Kimi for position, and then down the pit straight, Kimi came back at Russell, retook the position, and bolted away. And then in all this mixed, Kimi takes Russell, and in all this chaos, Max was also on the tail of Lewis and overtook Lewis. Uh, so this whole thing carried on. So Kimi lost the position to Russell on the start of the pit straight. Tried to make it happen on into turn 1, didn't happen, and then they continued around the lap, around like the halfway point of the lap. So turn 11, the end of the first DRS zone. I know DRS is not a thing, but bear with me. I'm trying to help you understand what corner of the track I'm talking about. So at the end of the first DRS zone, 10-11, that heavy braking, you had two overtakes. One was Kimi overtaking Russell, and from the back, Max just lunged down the inside of Lewis. Now the Kimi one, Kimi overtook Russell before the braking zone. He took him a long way out from the apex, so that was clean. Problem with Max, he ran wide, he pushed Lewis wider as well. So immediately Lewis was on the horn, give the position back. So coming down the back straight, I think the whole back straight, Max was looking to let Lewis through, but I guess Lewis wasn't expecting him to let him through this early or whatever. Lewis ended up overtaking him. Was it just coming out of the final corner or something like that? Uh, where is it? Yeah, Max gives the position back, coming out the final corner down the start straight, or the pit straight, and yeah, at this point it was mentioned and it was made obvious that Russell this whole weekend just hasn't been on pace. And then you went around the lap at the end of lap 9. Max overtook Lewis into the final corner for position. That was clean. That was for position. That was clean. Then the race sort of settled down a bit. Things came down. Rear tires were overheating like crazy. By this point, temperatures were high, especially back markers like Liam and all. They were complaining. You saw the deg, you saw the marbles forming on the tires of guys like Leclerc and all. You could just see that band of marbles forming. Fast forward to lap 12, two Williams and two Hasses were close, fighting for positions with each other, with their teammates. Bragging rights within the team were up for grabs. At the end of lap 12, Leclerc got, where is it? At the end of lap 12, Leclerc got within a second of Oscar, and Oscar at this point was 3 seconds behind Lando. So Lando pretty much signed, stamped, and sealed from the first corner of the first lap that he's going to win. Oscar, I don't know, he couldn't catch up to Lando. He didn't have that pace in him to build up to Lando. On lap 14, Martin Bundle made this comment that some of the overtakings that we used to see, uh, meaning the first three races, we used to see in difficult overtaking zones or overtaking places, normally where you'd see cars in single file. Sometimes you'd had overtakes over there in the first three races. That's not happening in this race. The number of overtakes, or the overtaking, let's say, frequency, has been taken away, and the field has become a bit more spread out. And at this point, I'm not sure where he picked up the damage. I think it was when the two teammates were going at it, when the two Hasses were fighting each other and the two Williams were just fighting each other behind them. I think Alex picked up damage fighting with the Carlos, so he came in for a front nose change. Yeah. And then lap 16, Leclerc got within 0.5 behind Oscar, who it seemed like Oscar had him covered. It didn't seem like Oscar was panicking. Didn't seem like he was stressing. He had the situation in control. And then on lap 17, Isaac. Okay, so on lap 17, Isaac overtook Franco Colapinto for, this would be P, I want to say 9. Yeah, I think this was P9. So this was coming out of turns 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be maybe into turn 5 or around. Yeah, this would be around turn 5. Let's just stick to turn 5. It's in the beginning first bit. Basically, Franco was defending from Isaac, and Franco was parking his car in the middle of the track. Where is it? In the middle of the track. So on this side, you had the wall, you had Franco in the middle, and then it was a right-hander, left-hander coming up. So Isaac lined it up, and he took a whole lot of risk. There was just enough of a space to squeeze a racing ball through it between Franco and the wall, and Isaac just managed to not touch Franco or the wall, and he kept it clean. And that was ballsy from Isaac, I will say. This was lap 17. On lap 18, you had Leclerc, who was just there or thereabouts on Oscar's gearbox. He wasn't that close to pull off a move, but he was holding on to Oscar. And into turn 17, I want to say again, he ended up running wide into the heavy braking and he lost time. So anything that he had been building up to or building into or whatever, it went away. And this was lap 18, so you only had that lap and the next lap to do something about P2. Running wide, lost time, and the sprint ended. Now, when the sprint ended, it came to the commentators' notice that Kimi Antonelli had been noted for a fourth time for a track limits violation. So apparently the fourth time of being noted was on lap 16th, but it had been registered a bit too late. So the information came out around the checkered flag. So initial thoughts were that Kimi was noted on the last lap for track limits. Turned out it was on lap 16, just took a bit of time to get there to see everything. And Kimi eventually, from fourth place, ended up receiving a 5-second time penalty for track limits, and he dropped to P6, I want to say. He lost out to Russell and Verstappen, I want to say. So this was it. This was your race. This was your sprint race. Now cars are in Parc Ferme. People will change their setups for qualifying. And let's see the results first before we get into anything else. Lando P1, Oscar P2, and Charles P3. These three were fixed, and they never swapped position. Nothing ever happened with these three after turn 2 on lap 1. Kimi did lose out to George in the middle, then he regained fourth, but then he lost out with the time penalty. So Russell ends up claiming fourth at the checkered flag. Max gains a position of Kimi on P5. Kimi drops to P6. Lewis P7. You have Gasly in P8. Gasly in the Alpine is doing quite well to hang on to the lower ends of the points scoring positions. Isaac Hadja, I don't know if he ran out of time or what. Maybe he could have had a charge on Gasly, but I think Deg in the midfield, people were suffering from a lot of Deg. Tire temps were too high. So yeah, again, Isaac, don't know with some laps whether if he could have mounted something on Gasly. Tires were worn, tires were degrading and dying off, so don't know, but good position for Isaac, staying there or thereabouts around the points scoring positions. Kept it in the top 10, but in the sprint the top 8 is what matters. Franco brings up P10. He started 8th, dropped 2 positions. He's been having a good weekend so far, even though he lost 2 positions from where he started. Gabby P11 kept his starting position. The Haas boys bringing up 12th and 13th. Carlos, I guess he was a bit more happy with the setup that he got, I guess. Brings up P14. Again, he will have been wanting to score points. The car is just not there yet. Liam brings up 15th, Fernando 16th, Sergio 17th, Stroll 18th, Alex in 19th. Alex had the wing change and everything. Valtteri was just slow, let's face it. And then you had your two non-participants, that being Nico, who just, well, he wasn't starting because I think it was the laps to the grid or the formation lap or whatever. No, the laps to the grid. The engine went kaput, and out of it was scheduled for a pit lane start. Ended up not making it out. So this is your weekend rundown so far, your Friday sessions and your Saturday sprint. Now we have qualifying that is going to start in a bit, and then some. Uh, yeah. So that's about it. I will not be showing up after qualifying. I will show up after the race with my notebook, with Alan notebook. I will be showing up after the race, and we can yap about qualifying and the race over there. Again, the issue is I'm not able to do live streams. Connection issues are killing me. So bear with me. I'm trying to figure out solutions. Nothing is working out quite yet. So for now, it'll be videos after the sporting event has happened, whether it's cricket, Formula One, MotoGP, what have you. Video will be uploaded after the event has occurred. I'll see you guys tomorrow after the race. Till then, let me know who you think is going to be your, first of all, your pole sitter, and then the 3 guys who you think are going to be on the podium. I think Lando will get pole, but I think Oscar will win the GP, Lando P2, and who else? And let's just throw Kimi for P3. Yeah, let's do that. That's my prediction for pole and for the race. I don't know where that's coming from. It's just the first thing that came to my head and I yapped it off. Let me know what's the first thing that comes to your head. Do comment, do like, subscribe. I can't go live. I can't go live. I can't interact just yet. Just yet. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you after the race tomorrow.